Ladies and gentlemen, this is a street tour of Bohol, and I call it my walking tour, and I call it the tourist trap. And the reason I call this the tourist trap, although it's not strictly for tourists, is that at any time on any given day, you'll be walking down any street or at night, and you'll see holes big enough for of course, your feet and your legs to fall in. But I mean, if you were riding a bicycle down this path and you were a tourist and just believed that the street existed everywhere, that would be a mistake. This is not a big tourist trap. There are much bigger tourist traps. I have seen tourist traps in the city of Cebu where there was a hole in the sidewalk 5 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet deep. And I'm not kidding. And it wasn't one, there wasn't two, there wasn't three. They were like every 200 feet. The caps for the septic water lines in what is called the North Reclamation area, just missing. They're not there. They were never put there, or they're just concrete caps. They were never put there. But on any given day, if you were riding a bicycle with thin wheels, I mean, a bicycle wheel, and you were coming up, that would be more than enough to trap that bicycle wheel and topple you over. So this is typical of any street in the Philippines, baby. There are no such thing as streets without obstacles like this. When they're brand new, of course, but any older road, if you're riding a bicycle or walking, you need to pay careful attention to where you place each foot. And if you're on a bicycle or a motorcycle, and you really need to pay attention where you're walking. It's not a joke. I'm not being a jerk. I'm just trying to make new people that are thinking about moving to the Philippines or visiting the Philippines and walking around at night, especially in the streets of Cebu. Even in the main area of Cebu, near Fuente Circle, just 1 block away, this little ditty that you see here, that's 5 inches wide, this would be a small hole. I've seen holes in Cebu City 3 feet by 3 feet with 4 foot deep, and of course you're gonna fall into a complete puddle of septic water. I mean, don't think that you're gonna fall into any kind of rainwater or anything like that. When you go into one of those holes, you're in 18 inches, 10 inches, or 3 feet of sewerage. So you need to understand that if you're going to be walking around, moving to the Philippines, visiting the Philippines, that before you do any walking around at night or the daytime, you need to understand to watch your step in the Philippines, baby. And another thing that I want to make note of is they don't really have a lot of sidewalks here. And I'm not walking in the street, I'm just walking in on the side of the road. But there's a lot of tourist traps in the Philippines. That was the biggest one I saw today. So I will say, Amping Permi. I just came from the NBI. Yes, I did. That's why I'm so happy. I'm singing in the rain. Everything is beautiful on the top of the bottom of the flat earth. Yes, it is. should say. I'm being permy. Oh, another thing you should understand. Whenever you see any kind of moisture, wet, and it's hot and it's sunny out like that, that is pure septic water and grass grown in septic water. Never mistake a puddle in the Philippines for fresh water. Always believe it to be septic water. Don't ever mistake a puddle in the Philippines for fresh water. Don't do it. Don't do it, baby. I'll be back.